Hey, this is Mr. Milleman, and I'm back to talk to you about the interactions of living things, about how different species, the individuals, interact with both each other as well as the environment that they live in. So come on! Before we talk about how individuals can interact with each other, we got to talk about how they interact with the environment that they live in. Well, the environment contains things like food and water and living space. Well, these things are scarce, and these resources don't last forever. So these are called limiting factors because what they do is they limit the amount of individuals in a population, because a population can only grow so big until they run out of resources. And once they start to run out of resources, then the population is going to slow down or stop or even start to die out. When a population gets too big for these limiting factors, it's called the carrying capacity. The carrying capacity is how many individuals can live in a certain area given the number of resources that are there. Once we start to get past those resources, we're going to start to die out a little bit. And the population is going to hold steady or possibly even die out because we can't carry any more individuals. Competition happens when you have individuals who are fighting for those same resources. And they all need them in order to survive, in order to produce offspring that are going to survive as well. Well, when we've reached that carrying capacity, when we've reached the limits of our resources, we're going to start to have competition because everybody wants that food. Everybody wants that water. We don't really have enough to go around for everybody. So competition starts to happen. Somebody either has to win the battle and take the resources, meaning that somebody will lose. And so therefore somebody has to move out, somebody has to die out, and it becomes a tough situation for the individuals involved. One specific type of interaction between individuals is the predator-prey relationship. Well, the predator is who does the hunting, and the prey is the hunted. So the predator goes out looking for food. The prey is the food. Well, it's no fun to be the prey, but that's just part of the natural cycle. And the predators need to go out and find their food. So it's a constant struggle. Who can win the fight? Who can get the food? Or who can escape the battle? And in that constant struggle between the predators and the prey, they have to adapt to different circumstances. Maybe if you're a predator, you have to have some great speed like a cheetah, or be really stealthy and sneak up on other animals. Or maybe you can be a snake and lay very still waiting for somebody to come to you. But any way you slice it, you better have a way to catch your prey or else you're not going to eat. Likewise, the prey have to have adaptations too, ways to defend themselves. Maybe you've got good camouflage. Maybe you're a leaf bug hiding amongst other leaves. Or maybe you are a white rabbit hiding in snow. But you better have a good way to hide yourself so that the predators don't see you. Maybe you've got a stinky smell like a skunk, or you've got a defense mechanism like a porcupine's quills. Anything that works to keep those predators at bay. Sometimes those animals have a special relationship, a very close one. Maybe somebody's hurt, maybe somebody's helped, maybe somebody's a meh. One type of symbiosis is here, the clownfish and the sea anemone. They've learned to work together. What they do is they provide help for one another, and they both benefit. They both get something good out of it. What does the clownfish get? Well, the clownfish gets a safe place to hang out because those sea anemone tentacles have stingers on them, nematocysts. And those stingers, they hurt bad and can kill some creatures. Well, most creatures don't want to mess with that. Well, the clownfish gets a good place to hide. So what does the sea anemone get? Well, it gets cleaned by the clownfish. It gets nutrients by when the clownfish gives off waste, and also the clownfish helps to scare away some predators so that the big ones don't come in. This clownfish kind of chase after them to scare them away, to keep them at bay, and they both get benefit out of it. Another type of symbiosis is commensalism. Well, we all know about the shark and the remora. Well, the remora is a little fish that hangs on to sharks and rays and whales and some other species as well. And those remora, what do? Well, they get protection and they get transportation. They get a free ride. So they get to go along for the ride, and they get to hang out with a big buddy to help keep them safe. So what does the shark get from it? Meh, not really anything. But that's okay, because the remora doesn't cause the shark any problems. So it's not a big deal to the shark at all. Another type of symbiotic relationship, one where one of the species benefits and one actually gets hurt. It's called parasitism. Well, there's lots of parasites out there. Fleas, ticks, tapeworms, mosquitoes. Well, these parasites, what they do is they find a host and they take from the host. But the host not only doesn't benefit, the host actually gets hurt from the process. Well, sometimes it's a minor irritant. Sometimes it's actually a very dangerous situation. Usually the parasite does not kill its host. Why? Well, you don't want to kill your source of food, but sometimes the host does die in the process. So in the end, all of this is really all about surviving, keeping your species alive and keeping it going. And so that's really what you want to do, is to see, can you live? Can you make it where you hear that? You hear that? You ready to go? All right, that's enough of that. So, it's all about surviving. Watching out for big number one. Can you survive? Can you get your resources? Do you have what you need? So, that's what we're looking at in interactions. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.